Okay, so here we are. Greetings, Sagittarius. That's you. This is Tarot Lumination with your love and relationship mini report for August 2018. Okay, this is how we're going to read it so that you understand. With Tarot Illumination, we use the Tarot Illumination Crucible spread, okay? It's on the understanding that there's you, there's a significant other, and then there's the relationship itself, which has an integrity, structure, identity of its own. And in a healthy, loving relationship, both parties vest themselves through the relationship, and they take care of the crucible. They take care of the structure to make sure that the structure in which they conduct their relationship can endure the relationship as we intimate and we separate, intimate and separate all day, every day. Now, if you're single, you can still read for this if you want to. It's just you have to understand the laws of attraction, that you're always radiating energy anyway. And the question is, what's being reflected back to you? Like the big what if, okay? And what does it constitute in this department here, okay? This is what it's really about. In a really loving relationship, both parties are very, very aware of this and they invest. They don't try to extract, like, I love you. Well, I love you. Well, what can I get out of you? Well, what are you trying to get out of me? It's not that, okay? Not with Tarot Illumination. So let's have a look. For Sagittarius, I want to give you some little appetizer here regarding the eclipses because they're right on us. Hold on, give me a second. As you can tell, Tarot Illumination is a highly advanced software system. Tarot Illumination is an app. What you're witnessing now is an app. I'm not a real person. I'm just an app. Okay, so have a look. Everybody just came out of July with that Cancer new moon eclipse, middle of July. But in August, we've got, sorry, excuse me. At the end of July, we also have the Aquarius Leo full moon, but for August specifically, we have the August Leo new moon eclipse, August 11th, okay? So it's a cluster here, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and the North Node are all piled up. So for you, Sagittarius, that's in your ninth house. You've got all these planets shining up here in your ninth house, which is kind of your turf anyway, okay? Wisdom, foreign travel, foreign places, higher consciousness, higher learning, seeking new, higher understanding, bringing that down to earth for others to enjoy, bringing that into integration in your being so that you can be of use to this world in the 10th house in terms of your destiny and so on. So let's have a look. I already added this here. Okay, ninth house, higher consciousness, wisdom, foreign affairs, foreign travel, foreign relationships, foreign places, expansion to the max and best of yourself, like it's a big adventure. So the question is, this is not directly to do with your love and relationship sector, which is more or less over here in the 7th house, or maybe over here in the true love section here. So I just wanted you to know that this eclipse is going to happen anyway. It's not hitting you directly regarding love and relationships, but it's happening anyway. So please mark your calendar and just note what is happening to you as an individual, because that will impact your relationships some way, somehow, but indirectly, okay? So let's leave it at that. I don't want to dig into this too much more, okay? It'll just confuse things for everybody. So let's get straight to the cards. You know the drill if you've been here before. No jumpers, no pliers, no oracles, no reversals. Just keep it very, very simple, stripped down. And you'll see what it looks like in a moment when the cards come out. Please watch for your sun, moon, and rising too, especially in case they're all different. And even further, watch for your loved ones. Do the cross-watching for your significant others, and then you can get a much better understanding of what's going on between yourself and another. And also, of course, for the singles, please allow for the laws of attraction. You're always radiating energy anyway. I'll show you in just a second. Cards are well shuffled in advance. If I go to the last second so that you're a witness. And yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, here we go. Okay, bless this deck. Bless these cards. Bless this cut. Bless you, the viewer. Bless Tarot Illumination to do the best it can for you. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Hold on. Let's get things sorted out here. Hold on. All right. So this is your love energy frequency. Well, it's a lot of energy you're radiating, but we're going to focus on the love element, okay? Over here, the same from a significant other. Over here, deep inside of you at the heart soul level, deep inside of them at the heart soul level, and at the core, the relationship itself. So already I'm hoping you can see this as the crucible. A crucible is a bowl type structure used in science. It's designed to withstand intense pressures of heat, cold, knocks, shocks, whatever happens in the alchemical reactions in a laboratory, which is very much like a parallel to what happens in relationships. Excuse me. Like in loving relationships, we always intimate, we're always separating. You're having good days, they're having good days. Oh, sorry, you. This is Sagittarius. This is the other. It goes up and down, it circulates, and eventually you have your moments of bliss and then your moments of like, oh, what was that? Either way, it all has to happen in this structure without going bust. So that's why we like to allow for a structure so that you can invest in it. So you're not burning each other out. Well, let's look around you, circumstantial energy, call it the weather. With the King of Wands here, my feeling is that this is an indication that, all right, I think that's it's something to do with how these Leo Aquarius eclipses, these are the last of the batch and for another almost 20 years. So right at the tippy end of July and then in August, August 11th, we have the the Leo Aquarius eclipse things, especially with the Leo thing. And the beauty about the Leo eclipse for you, Sagittarius, is that it's very harmonious simply because of your sun sign. It's like Sagittarius is a deep trine to Leo, so it's naturally very compatible. So you might be really enjoying this, while some others, sun signs, star signs, moon signs, ascendant signs, might be having a really bumpy time if they're hard squared to Leo, like the Aquarians and the Taurians and the Scorpios and the Leos themselves might be getting really jolted right now. But it looks to me like for you, circumstantially, this is really good, where it's really, really working for you. So especially when it comes to love and relationship, it's like you're going to get a chance to shine. You're going to get a chance to show that you've achieved a new level of mastery and dignity, let's say pride, honor, and respect from others, that you are radiating from inside of yourself. And that's apparent in your environment, your people, your circumstances, however that works for you. And so that to me looks like a very encouraging environment for you here in August. Okay, let's have a look. What are you radiating? Okay, more wands with the 8 here. It feels like you've got a lot on your mind, like a lot to express, and like would really like to share what you have, what your circumstances are reflecting back to you. So it's like, without putting the emphasis on the lovey-dovey directly, to me it feels more like the excitement and the fun that comes from that feeling of I don't know, like a life well lived, or having got through a bunch of experiences and challenges or the eclipses or whatever, and coming out the other side realizing, wow, I survived that. I didn't do too badly. I can tell by looking around me in my world, my relationships with people, people who love me, the people that I love, that I must be doing something good because I can see it in my environment. It's very encouraging. And it's almost like a sign for you, Sagittarius, to step up. You don't have to be shy about this. And so you're saying it's almost like, wow, okay, well, let's go for it. I have a lot of stuff that I would like to do, have, enjoy, experience, share, express, receive in a loving relationship. Thank you very much. No apology. So let's make that happen. Let's bring it on. And why don't we start right now? In fact, let's mark 11th of August as the start date for all this yummy good stuff. That's what I'm sensing here. It seems to me very appropriate to mark your calendar for August 11th, where you might get a very vivid awakening of what is being eclipsed out of your life and your world, in that part of your life, like higher consciousness, higher awareness of what's happening in your life, and then how that affects your loving relationships and so on. And then seizing hold of that energy and turning it to your advantage in love and relationship. And in other words, like, okay, if this is what it is and it's harmonious and beneficial, let's go for it. In fact, it's almost like, let's have a party, let's celebrate, let's do some serious invocations here just a day or two after August 11th, and then tap into this super, super, super energy for you, Sagittarius, okay? Make the best of it and go from there, like a Sagittarius new moon party, August 11th. It's not a Sagittarius new moon per se, like sun and moon, but taking advantage of the Leo new moon eclipse, that it works very, very well for you, okay, as a person, and that has a ripple effect, like what do they call it? A knock-on effect into your relationship, ships, okay? Let's have a look. What are they radiating over here? Okay. Oh, with the little Five of Pentacles, sometimes, have you ever had that experience in a relationship, Sagittarius, where you're doing well enough, in fact, so well enough that it's almost embarrassing, and that anything and everything that is not at that level seems like diminished? So it could be like you're having this relationship with someone who's like, wait a minute, it's not fair. How come you're having all the fun? How come you get to involve, enjoy, and feeling like you're optimized and being the best Sagittarian you could ever be at the highest levels, gaining new levels of wisdom and higher consciousness, seeing new horizons? What about me? Where does that leave me? Have you forgotten about me? Because it would be very, very easy for you, dear Sagittarius, for all of this stuff to go to your head. Okay, enough to the point where, you know, it happens in people in relationships, like you get such a charge that you just go off on it like a dog in a park, like woohoo, and then all of a sudden, like, the other person is left far behind, wondering what just happened. So I don't think there's anything malicious or really toxic going on here. I think their energy is more like a side effect of all the wonderful stuff that could potentially happen for you. So please allow for that, Sagittarius. Not everybody is as optimistic and built for like success and opportunity and seeing the positive in things in life as you are. And there, if you're on a serious roll, it's like everyone else in the room is like, damn, that's not fair. How come you get to be all of that? Anyway, I'm trying to personalize it, get it down to one particular individual. So I don't see this as actually being impoverished or lost in themselves, as though they feel like they've lost or they're losing out or wondering what any kind of value they have in the relationship because of themselves directly. It's more in reflection from you, feeling like a little bit less than. So please allow for that, Sagittarius, okay? I think they're fine. I think they're totally fine. But when these things happen, it's so easy for other people to slip into self-doubt, wondering like, what is it about me? Like, am I gorgeous enough? Am I rich enough? Am I hot enough? Am I sexy enough? Am I a good enough spouse? Am I a good enough mother, girlfriend, boyfriend, parent, caretaker, housekeeper, shopper, second income earner? What is it? What's wrong with me in any or all of those departments? Did I make the right decisions about being with you? Did you make the right decisions about being with me? Have I let you down? Am I letting you down? To me, it feels a little bit sad, but again, I think it's to do with comparative energies, where actually, if you weren't on such a roll, then this wouldn't be happening at all. You'd have more of an equilibrium, equilibrium, equilibrium. Anyway, sorry about that. So let's have a look deep inside of you. Okay. Okay, to me, this is showing signs of this all going to your head a little bit, where it's just like once you discover like your own magnificence and your capabilities and how much you are, let's say, appreciated, and how your circumstances are telling you that in some ways you're doing a good job of being a good Sagittarius to the point where it almost goes to your head, where you think, aha, you know, now I don't have to put up with any BS in my life. So in other words, it's only, this is going to sound a little bit, melodramatic here. It's almost like, oh my gosh, if you feel like such a loser and you can't keep up with me, then that's your fault. And that just makes things worse, Sagittarius. Like, sure, you might be feeling your own awesomeness right now, and circumstances and events might be indicating that you have a right to feel that way, and which would make you want to like seek like relief from like the frailties and the infirmities and the weaknesses and the challenges of what can happen in a relationship when a serious disparity in like the power levels is exposed between yourself and another. Like when the balance of power is really, really good, then there's a lot of equilibrium. When there's someone who has always has the upper hand, who always like either calls the shots or dominates the relationship to the point where the other party is more or less like an accessory to the main person, eventually that gets old and you want to grow out of it because you think like, well, where's the fun in that anymore? I need my own, like, I need to be at the same level. And so like as you have a grow, like as you have been growing and evolving and it's been evident in your circumstances to the point where you want to run with it, and like maybe you've had all your thrills with this person, maybe this person's already had all their thrills and fulfillment with you, and you're looking for to move on because it's like you've depleted, like the relationship is depleted. But you have to be very clear that we're living in a relationship here. So it might not be that they are depleted. It may be that your perspective is that they're not up to being with you, and they have serious issues of self-worth, and you could easily make it worse by coming down on them by saying things like, well, like, well, that's your problem. Like, if you feel sorry for yourself, if you're feeling like less than, then maybe you should get some coaching or training because I got to take care of my stuff. I want to move on. I want to grow and advance and evolve, and I only want to bring with me what's good for me. Okay, without being rude or offensive, Sagittarius, can you see how that might hurt the other person's feelings and just make things worse? Because this is so strong, this energy is so strong, it could easily go to your head. That's all I'm suggesting here. So just be careful a little bit. Especially if there's a formal bond in this relationship, like contracted, like a marriage or something like that, or you're seriously committed and living together or deeply engaged or something. Let's have a look deep inside of them. Okay. Well, with the Ten of Pentacles here, my feeling is that deep down, they actually want it all. They want things in the old-fashioned way. It's just like, they know about the good stuff about you. They know your talents and gifts and stuff. They know what they actually have to offer in the relationship, deep at the soul level, in a very, very solid way, kind of like a really solid married couple type of energy over here, deep at their soul level. And this feels like what is in question right now. If they've already had the experience of being with you together in a relationship where you do have it all, and now they are living in a point in the relationship where they are feeling a serious lack of this, then that is a problem. And then the question is like, who's to blame? Because typically somebody has to have someone to blame rather than owning it themselves. My feeling is deep down is that they love this. They want the abundance. They deserve the abundance. They deserve the happy family, the protection, the solidity, the security, the long-term comforts of a loving, passionate, caring, responsible, relationship where both parties are investing in each other. And if they don't have that, that would be very, very much like what they would resonate at the soul level, even if they're concerned about it, like as a shadow energy, like, oh my gosh, where did this all go? Where is our good, solid, loving relationship? Because I've already put in everything I have. I've already done everything. I know what this means. I know what this is to me, to you, to us. So what is the problem here? Am I not worthy of you anymore? Am I less than? Am I truly depleted and expended? Have all my assets been exploited to the point where there's nothing left for you? Which exposes the relationship of having a problem in the first place, in that what were the original intentions and the vows and the expectations and the understandings of the relationships before we get into this more mature level of relationship. Let's have a look at the core. Hold on. I forgot to put this little card here. No, don't worry, because this is the card that would have been there anyway. We've already looked at the weather circumstances here. Now remember, Sagittarius, I'm not trying to judge you here, because this is typically very generous, kind, inspiring energy that is good for everybody. Like everybody wants to, guys want to be you, girls want to do you. It's like the energy, like if you were the boss of something, people would want to be there, work for that company. So it's like you're probably still very desirable to them. Like they would be all over you if you were more available to them. You might be all fired up and passionate, but the question is your passion directed towards your significant other, or deep down in your soul, are you looking onwards and outwards, somewhere way out there, and leaving them diminished over here? In other words, you might have all had a whoopee time, but with all the Leo eclipses, you're realizing, oh my God, there's more for me. There's more for me. Like, whoa! And then, uh-oh. See where this is becoming a serious problem? Let's have a look here at the core. What's going on? Okay, well, maybe this is inevitable. Maybe this is a maturation. Maybe you're in a relationship dynamic, Sagittarius, where, let's say, everything is exactly as it should be, and the shadowy scenario that I've painted here, as opposed to the glorious fun stuff, is exactly as it should be, because it can't be any other way. Because maybe you and your significant other have been living in a relationship or are in a situation where, like, the sad aspect of the story that I've just expressed kind of was inevitable, because it might be that the whole relationship itself was based on, let's say, premises that are not conducive for a long-term, stable, loving relationship. And so you get to a point where, if everything blows up and the eclipses are just like the trigger moment and everything is exactly as it should be, like someone is being, like, if this is you and this is the relationship to the point where it is one thing, okay, here, where this eclipse, as wonderful as it might be in some ways, it also could be exposing the flaws, the deep flaws in the relationship itself, where it blows up to the parting of the ways. But it's not like they're running away from you. I think they're feeling diminished because it's like you're so on such a roll that you've already gone over here and sort of showing signs of parting of the ways. But again, with the eclipses, if this is a relationship that was more like a learning relationship, and it's inevitable that you were going to part company anyway, and you could say it was fated, and on the understanding that the planets are always moving up and down, in and out, and energies of nature, earth, air, fire, and water are always working for your benefit one way, somehow or another, then so be it. If this is how it is, then so be it. And if there is something really good and yummy and glorious to come out of this, again, then so be it. But typically with eclipses, it's like whatever is not yours anymore, Sagittarius, will be taken away. And whatever is yours, whatever dues are coming to you, will come to you, whatever that might be. That's what eclipses do. They're like gateways at the airport when you're going through TSA security. You go through that gate, you don't go back. It's like an evolutionary step. it can be quite scary to go through those steps. Let's have a look. Prospects and momentum. Okay. Well, with the Empress here, you guys can reinterpret however you want, but with the Empress card here, remember this is not a couple's reading. This is a reading for you, Sagittarius, that allows for a significant other. So from the perspective of the Sagittarian, my feeling is that with the Empress here, again, there's a lot of, it's like, gosh, I don't want to like hurt your feelings, but like you're going to get what you deserve. And it's goodness. What you deserve is good. It's bountiful. You get to enjoy, like the relationship gets a chance to flourish, but it might be a flourish that comes about through like a serious jolt, a maturation step where, like, you know how couples can come together, they mature and grow and evolve, and they inevitably bust up, but they can still remain friends. It does happen where they realize they both grew and blossomed out of this in ways that they could not have done without each other. And so therein is the bounty. Therein is the luscious manifestation, the good outcome. You know, it's like when couples have a very harmonious divorce or a really friendly breakup, when they realize, God damn, we were good together. Man, it was so good. We had everything. We had the best, you know, best life under the covers. We did all this. We had all that. And we've had our ups and down moments. And I've grown so much. And like, yeah, like Nick, I can see that you've grown out of me. I'm not going to take it personally. Yeah, and I can see that I've grown so much, and I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. And this, like, well, like, okay, so I have to move on. You know, I don't mean to hurt you. And like, I know, I still love you. Hold on, the screen just froze. Bear with me. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to stay here. The clock is ticking. I'm going to keep talking. I don't know what's happening right now. Terra Illumination is freaking out. I'm hoping that the screen unfreezes. Please bear with me. I'm going to stop. That was freaky. Okay, I don't know if that's going to come on the video on the channel, but anyway, it happened over here. So we're good now. So my feeling is that both of you guys have really enjoyed the abundance and the awesomeness of a relationship that had, and you've, like, it's almost like you've extracted everything that you can out of it. But it also looks like one of you has outgrown the other without any serious grudges or ill will or any malevolence or any spite or bitterness or blame. It just happens, okay? And it looks to me like this is like you would want the very, very best for them, and they would want the very, very best for you in terms of like your new physical life that unfolds, that comes out of this relationship. You know, if you look at this as a living thing, like the crucible is here, sometimes these crucibles do collapse, like how a plant grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and then it like a tree, it just collapses. But that becomes fertilizer for the new, delicious, abundant thing to come from here. So perhaps we're dealing with a growth relationship here, or a karmic relationship where two people love each other very dearly. They've had the best, they've enjoyed the best, and they mean the best for each other, but they've reached a threshold where they have to admit there is a serious, to me, I'm just going to call it out, it feels like there's a serious rift, but it's not toxic. It's where they're going like this to the point where you're already leaving. You've kind of already gone. So that could be very sad for them. You, Sagittarius, might be dealing with someone who's very sad in case, for whatever reasons. But out of the challenge comes the good. I see this as very bountiful and luscious for the relationship itself. And so for the relationship itself, despite their infirmities or frailness or their senses of loss or diminishment, they will benefit some way, somehow. But it requires a lot of maturity to do this. Okay, I don't want to say any more. All the best, Sagittarius. You can reinterpret however you want. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Do the cross watching, please. All of that stuff. Okay, take care. All the best. Bye bye.